and welcome to this presentation on how to use Twitter as a small business by me, Yvonne Chazelle. Alright, so some of you are probably asking, what is Twitter? Isn't that a crazy place where Kanye West gets into fights with his model ex-girlfriend and causes all sorts of drama? Well, it's actually not. There are tons of opportunities for networking and marketing for small businesses. You can network with other businesses as well as within your own business. Perhaps you have multiple departments or facilities or that sort of thing. You can also market to, obviously, your customers, as well as marketing yourself to potential business partners as well. And Twitter allows you to uniquely market to your audience by developing your brand, which is a word that we'll discuss a bit more later on. So, who's on Twitter besides Kanye West? Well, you've got, like I said, business leaders, just like you, as well as consumers. In terms of the business leaders, you've got your partners, and you've also got your competitors. This gives you a chance to build connections with your partners, and also a chance to differentiate yourself from your competitors in the eyes of your consumers. As far as consumers go, you have, obviously, your current consumers and your current customers, who you know already are following you and kind of are on your side. But you've also got potential customers, as well as your friends and your critics. All of these people are on Twitter, and they're going to be watching you and what you're doing. So, I know you're all asking, what can Twitter do for me? And the answer to that question is one word: access. Twitter gives you access to your consumers, as well as giving your consumers access to you. It gives you a way to reach a new digital market. You can reach customers who you potentially wouldn't have been able to otherwise. Perhaps if location is a limiting factor, or maybe you don't have the budget to promote yourself on TV or in the newspaper or through other outlets. Obviously, you can connect with consumers and other businesses through this new digital market, but you can also interact with them. Twitter is an interactive platform, so if you have conversations, you can answer questions, all sorts of things. And it gives you the chance to, through these interactions, develop a personality for your business. And here comes that big word again: brand. So, what is a brand? Well, we used to live on a planet where a brand was basically just your slogan, or perhaps a sign on the side of the road sporting some mark or some bit of text that you could see around town on t-shirts or in the newspaper or something. But now we're in a much more digitalized world. And through the internet, you can give your business a personality and an identity. Through this identity, you can interact with your customers, talk to them. Here we have an example of JetBlue Airways. We've got them cracking jokes and being fun with their customers in a way that isn't quite as easily done through other methods of advertisement and marketing. Without the interactivity of social media, you really couldn't do that sort of thing. So, what can I do with this access as a user of Twitter? You can do all sorts of things. Not only can you advertise your products, here we have an example of Oreo advertising perhaps to a different market, the Fashion Week market, people who are interested in fashion. Not that cookies and fashion don't have to go together, but for the most part they usually don't. So this is an example of using Twitter to creatively reach out into a different market. You can also answer questions from your customers. It provides your customers with an easy way to get help or provide feedback, and also gives you the chance to perhaps address a question that many people are having, or at the very least show that you're willing to help. In the past, this might have required a visit to the store, which, perhaps wasn't possible because of location limitations, or something of the sort. So now it's much easier. You can also run promotions like this Dollar General promotion. You can do more short-run promotions than you were able to do in the past because people can see this information instantaneously. That gives us a lot of options as well as flexibility for exclusive offers to followers. You can also just use Twitter to share information, plain and simple as that. That way you become sort of, through your Twitter, a community resource for information about your product or what your product deals with. Here we have a dentist giving his expertise on teeth whitening, a fantastic way to spread information throughout the community using your Twitter page. And you're becoming a resource, a place where people want to come and find out about things and sort of build trust in your business. Now, there are a few things you want to avoid doing on Twitter. This includes forgetting to tweet. If you have an empty Twitter, it's probably worse than not having one at all. It's important that you are definitely producing consistent content, making sure that you are present. But definitely don't be rude to your customers, no matter how rude they're being to you. It doesn't look good, and it's out there forever, so that's very important to remember. Also, if you think you can't keep up with this brand that you've created, or if you're perhaps still trying to figure out how you want to identify your business, maybe wait on having a Twitter. You don't want to confuse the people that are kind of looking to your Twitter for information or anything of the sort. If any of these bullets are true for you, perhaps Twitter is not for you just yet. That isn't to say that it can't be in the future, and it's not something to work towards. So, to sum it up, Twitter gives you a ton of access. That's what it's all about. Access to new markets where you can identify yourself and your product, as well as connect with your audience about it. Whether that audience is other businesses within your field or your potential customers. All right, thank you all for listening, and happy tweeting!